What is up, everybody? How we doing today? I am Yaya El Yasolina, and I am joined by Mr. Duane Brown. How you doing, Duane?
I've been better. I've been better. I am probably just tired. It's another late night show for us, which is why we're starting without Mitch. He'll be here when he gets here. Um,
This might be one of
and
the quicker shows too.
yeah, so I shoveled mulch all morning to help a buddy of mine out. So I'm just kind of beat in general, but also like super irritated with this match tonight. So,
We were talking about this
yeah, what
before we
we've
started.
Yaya's okay with. I mean, Yaya's like he's my even keeled talk me off the ledge guy. So I love to talk to Yaya before the show because he's the one who brings me down
Yeah, and
from my
also
enraged state.
to be fair, we have very different angles of the game because I watch from home, and you
Yeah,
watch it live in from the corner, right next to C38. So
very
it's like
different.
a
Yeah,
very different angle, and you see so many things that I don't see, but I see a lot of things that you do that you don't see too. So we have
yeah,
a very different
yeah.
perspective of this whole game.
Yaya and I text each other throughout the game, and I will gripe about something, and Yaya is like, "Dude, you're crazy. That's not at all what happened," and I'm like, "You're not seeing what I'm seeing," and so it's very funny. So it's always a good balance
So
during the match.
to peek a little bit behind the curtains, we were Dwayne was texting me about Cucho and the refs. Those were the two main topics we talked about today.
Not together. Two
No,
different
no, no.
subjects.
Different,
Yeah,
like yeah, it was Cucho and the refs. Two different
yeah.
tangents that we were talking about at the same time. Um,
And,
First,
and
I
I
want to
and I will
say
I will backtrack on the refs part, but I stand by my thoughts on Cucho.
Cucho. See,
Yeah,
like, and me and Mitch are huge Cucho believers. We love Cucho. We think Cucho's the shit. Like we're Cucho guys. Some might call us Cuchorites. It just depends who you're talking to. But you thought Cucho was a flopper. You thought if they touched him and he fouled completely, right?
dude, he started off the match with just a ridiculous flop, like right off the get go, and it I don't know. I was expecting because like I'm not a Cucho guy, right? Like I'm a Rapids fan. I don't know. I don't follow a ton of other players around the league. Um,
For sure.
so you're never going to get that analysis from me about like maybe in the off season, I'll talk more MLS wide, but as far as like DNVR Rapids is concerned, like I'm all in on Rapids and screw everybody else. But so anyway, Yaya and Mitch have been talking up Cucho like he is the second coming, and so I'm like, okay, like let's see this dude. Like this guy is supposed to be it. And the first thing I see him do is come down the sideline towards me and just do a ridiculous flop and act like he's never going to walk again. And then suddenly pops up and then a minute later scores a goal. And given that goal was super cool, like those are the kind of like
Yeah.
weird wonky goals that I love. So I give him, 100% props on that goal. That was super fun to watch, even though I wish it wasn't against us, and I wish it wasn't another mental breakdown by our defense. But other than that, like I am not a Cucho guy, and so I will be the one of the three rapid tiers that really does not like that guy at all. Like he irritated me all night with bad other guys flopping, and then he comes over and starts yelling to the ref, or he flopped. I'm just like, man,
The odd man
stop.
out.
Just
The odd man
stop
out. The
it.
Cucho hype. I get that.
Yeah. Yeah.
The thing is, soccer players do that all the time.
Oh yeah, every
It's
rapid
part of
does
the
it too.
game. Yeah, it just sucks when it happens
I
to you
know.
and they do
I
it.
know. I know.
With
I know.
and we had such different opinions on this because we were talking about this kind of goes into the refs too. That you were saying, oh, the refs are completely taking this game away from the Rapids. They're allowing Columbus players to fall. And while I agree, there were some really ticky tacky
There were some
fouls both ways.
spectacular dives
Yeah, but in
by
both ways,
Columbus.
like, and I thought the refs really were like what's it called, accountable at all, and they let this game get out of hand really quickly. I Some of these fouls that we were talking about, I thought they were the Rapids got a little lucky to walk away with nothing at all or just a yellow. I thought Wilson should have been sent out. I think Rubio's gonna get fined, and he talked about that in the post game where he was saying that
Mitch is
the
here. Beer, beer, beer,
refs.
beer.
He was talking about how the refs helped out the team, the Columbus Crew, more.
All right, guys, we can start the show now. We can start.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Thanks for showing up.
There we go. That's a lot better. This is exactly what we needed. We just wanted Mitch in here to kick him out.
Oh, guys, what a game. A lot of stuff. What'd I miss? Fill me in.
Literally all saying that this was not a game and that we were both like not entertained by this.
Yeah.
We were kind of like to
really
game.
Yeah, felt very meh on the game, and I absolutely hated it and wish I had stayed home.
Oh, I mean the result is, you got a point against a playoff team at home, which so it's like it's better than 0. You should have had 3. Biggest thing for me, and we talked about it with the guys after the game, but it's gonna be a thin team against Vancouver.
You guys say that again, Mitch. You cut out.
The team will be thin against Vancouver. We're talking not just Yahya, obviously. Price will be out with a chest injury. And you're gonna have Acosta out, Lucas out. I expect Gutierrez.
We'll get into that in a minute because we're still like on the.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like that's what you take away from this game is not only
we blew it.
Not only is injuries going to be a problem, but you're also looking at, just so focused on these yellow cards, man. So focused on those yellow cards, and it's like
the yellow cards are their own faults, man. Like I always say this, the yellow cards, especially because the accumulation of yellow cards hasn't been like fouls. It's been literally all like they complain to the refs too much when the ref already gave them a warning, and then they get a yellow, and that happens constantly with them. It's been an issue with Rubio and everybody on that team for a long time.
What if the players are right?
They are right, but if the ref's giving them a warning, you gotta like back off. Don't get fucking near that shit because that's how they are.
I hate the refs tonight. I hate them.
I thought the refs were inconsistent, and it goes back to my point. I thought the refs didn't have any accountability. That's about it. But I thought they let the Rapids play. Honestly, I thought there should have been at least 2 expulsions from the Rapids besides equipment manager. I thought Acosta should have been expelled.
Yeah,
I thought
Rubio probably should have gotten a yellow, and he didn't even get 1.
Exactly.
He probably should have gotten for dissent. He probably should have gotten 2.
And then Nagby got a yellow for literally playing, did nothing wrong, and I was just like, the refs were just bad.
He knows what he did.
Literally nothing. He probably said hi to the ref.
He knows what he did.
So we asked Sam Nicholson about this, and I think he kind of I asked him if the team was too focused on the refs, and I think he took it as like a questioning the emphasis of the ref on the game, and like obviously that goes into like iffy territory. But essentially what he said was this ref is the most communicable ref in the league. Like you don't he'll explain before and after. Rubio did get a yellow at 78. Thank you, Joseph.
That's what I thought. He got
yellows for everybody. He should have had probably. Yeah,
he should have been had a red. At a certain point.
But yeah, the ref was very. According to them, this is like a good ref to have because he will explain everything, tell you what's going on. At least that's the way Sam put it in the post-game presser. I don't know. Look, Frazier was I think he was off because that first pass he was off, and you can tell when he kind of jumps backwards to get the ball. He was onside on the goal.
TV.
Yeah,
if you see it on TV, they have a really good angle of it where it's about like he's about like a head off.
Yeah,
his head is like offsides. And to start off, that's not even the goal. It just led to a rebound that led to the goal because there was a great save from Room.
Oh, okay. See, Joseph, we thought that was Zardes. B-Rain Joseph, thank you. We thought that was Zardes that got that yellow. Yeah, that was confusing. Yeah, man. I don't know. So
because they called the foul on Sardis and then Rubio
Yeah.
got the yellow.
They were. It was funny. So like Keegan comes out and he's just frustrated. He keeps dropping frustrated. Like turnovers. We weren't informed. The quality was low. You know, et cetera, et cetera. Sam comes out and is like, I don't know, play pretty good. You know, we didn't get the goals. You know, like I'm in good fitness. I'm happy. Like Sam was just like all good vibes, like completely. And then Frazier comes in and is just like, you know, Zen master about it. But he seemed positive. He was excited about Gutierrez. He thought the defense responded really well after the initial slop. But you know, considering you played 80 minutes of goalless, you know, the goalless defense against Columbus, that's something you can take into this Vancouver game. Like, yes, you don't want 1 point, but like there was that. I don't know if I necessarily completely agree. Like that's, you know, that's going to be Frazier speak, but I do think, you know, their point of attack wasn't great, but their scramble defense was great. Their recovery was great. They got in the way. They basically gave 0 XG after halftime. And like they ran Columbus into the ground. They were tired. I do think there's plenty good to take out of this. Duane is giving me a face. He thinks there's no good, but I don't think that's true. Duane, why is there no good to take out of here?
This was a loss to me. The only good thing for this, 2 good things, 3 good things. So, you know, like I was saying on Thursday, like this game was likely going to fall on the shoulders of Yarby, and it did, save for that first goal, which I put on Estevez and not on Yarby. But had Yarby been spectacular all game, he would have grabbed that one too. But he kept us in there, you know, so props to him. Props to Rubio for breaking his season record with his 12th goal. I think that's awesome. I thought Gutierrez also played well, played better than he did in the last match. So I thought those were 3 positives out of that. But we got a lot of away games. We're not good on the road, and we just blew it at home versus a beatable team. And to me, I'm just like,
I think you're underrating Columbus, one, and I think you get a point on a night when the scoreboard didn't necessarily completely help you, but Houston lost, Portland lost, tomorrow Nashville and Minnesota play, so you either get a draw or someone doesn't get any points in that game, and you still got a point against a playoff team. It wasn't like they're not like the 12th team in the East. This is a playoff team, and you still get a point.
Yeah, but they're not a playoff team in the West, so I don't really care.
I don't know if I agree with that. That's like a solid squad.
The thing I'm just saying is I don't care about this game. Was so mad to me, like everything from beginning to end just didn't
really exciting 20 minutes into just molasses pace. You're right.
No,
it just died.
Honestly, no, not even
half.
that. Like there's nothing from this game that I can get positively or negatively. There's nothing that riled me up one way or another. Like this game was just meh. There's nothing there's literally nothing I can take away from this.
Nothing.
I'm honestly saying there's nothing I can take away from this game that I'm like, okay, that's who they are and that's who they're not. This game was just a stalemate to me all the way.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because the early goal, even then, I thought it was just a good goal from Cucho that he snuck in behind Lucas.
Yeah, I mean,
like that Lucas was there. Exactly. Like, it wasn't even like a big mental breakdown either. The goal they scored, it was an obvious handball. Like, there's nothing I can take away from this where I'm like, oh, yeah, this, that. The only thing I can take away was the both wings, which is Lucas, Lewis, Barrios, and Keegan, I thought were really bad. And you're not going to get 4 bad performances on the wing again. At the same time, you're not. Like, you're just not. That's almost impossible for it to happen. I'm surprised to happen this game.
Mm-hmm.
So I think like there's not much I can take away from this because we've seen this again. It was like passionate from Robin again. Like he was super passionate. The bench was trying to get going. You could tell Lucas mentally wasn't there. You could tell that Rubio and Lewis were in their heads too much and trying to create things that weren't there instead of making the smart play. But those are things that just happen, or like game to game stuff that happens. It's not a trend we've seen with them. It was just so blah. Like there's nothing I can take away positively or negatively from this game except like you're still only 3 points behind from third place from a playoff spot right now. and that's about it.
I
Like,
think
you
there's
don't
some
see nothing
player. I think
change.
there's some individual player things that you can look at that are pretty good, and Duane definitely hit that. I think Gutierrez, which Gutierrez is going to probably play 90 on Wednesday. Not probably. Like I would.
He doesn't have a choice.
Yeah, I mean, like he's gonna have to. I I think it's gonna be him and Ralph is my best guess. They didn't tell us one way or the other. But man, I do. I mean, I think you have to be okay with that based on the two real stretches we've seen from Gutierrez. You got to be pretty okay with that going into Vancouver. Man, yeah, I guess you're right, man. I don't know. I thought the recovery was good. Look, like they limited a strong attack. Columbus has a good offense, and they basically after that goal shut it down. Like they did not get quality looks for 80 minutes.
I agree.
It was
with
like
that.
that was a good defensive performance.
No, I disagree with that because Yarby put it together, and Yarby saved us in the second half.
Well, sure.
I mean, I can't say that they didn't. Right, but you're saying they didn't get any good looks, but they did.
They got one good look.
They had maybe one good look. They had maybe one good look.
But the one thing I'll say about that, but the thing I'll say about that is, like, it felt more like Columbus ran out of gas. It felt more like that, and like that Columbus just wasn't pushing anymore. I thought Yarby played great in the one chance that he saved. That was super important. That was a clear chance, maybe two. But after that, I really just thought Columbus kind of ran out of gas.
It's because their knees were hurt from falling down so much.
Very well could be, man, at that point. But again, I was just I just felt like this game was the Rapids. It was a good back and forth game, and you showed to be exactly. Joseph says it right here. Both teams look really tired. I agree with that. It looks like they both just kind of ran out of gas.
Yeah.
Which again, it's understandable. It's a long game. You're towards the middle to the end of the season. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? It happens. But it just felt like the game got really and again, I'm not trying to say that the team wasn't good. The team was just mid. It was.
I mean, look, you're gonna have games like this. Yeah.
It's not bad. I'm not mad at it. I'm really not.
Frazier said it best in the postgame, man. He was like, this was a draw. Both teams played to it. Like this isn't one where you walk away and you're like, man, should have had that. Man, Columbus should have they played to a drop. Yeah. Exactly. They played to a drop. But this was the deserved outcome for both. For sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Both of those teams should have won.
I think draw is exactly what it was. Yeah, the draw is exactly right.
But Duane is true. Duane is right. If Colorado would have won, I would have been oh, makes sense. It was a close game. If Columbus would have won, it was makes sense. It was a close game.
I do think something I do want to give them credit for, and you can pull up Cody's comment right there from the extra time. Columbus controlled extra time, one, because Yahya was off and they couldn't sub anyone on, so they're down to 10. The ref just came over and started waving red cards at the bench at the start of extra time, so it's chaos on the sideline. Yaya's literally just in complete pain on the sideline, and they didn't concede a goal.
Him off at the end.
Look, it's tough. It's tough in that moment, and Keegan and Frazier both spoke to it. That is not easy to finish out a game in those last few minutes when both teams are as laser focused as they're going to be, because that result is right there, and you're down a man. You're basically, your coaches are trying to figure out what the hell's going on behind them, right? They're not I thought they did a really good job controlling the end of that game and not conceding and not even giving a good look at the end in that situation. That is something to take away from that.
So again, I'm still there's not a lot of takeaways from this, in my opinion. In my opinion,
that's but you don't get those if you face that situation more often than not, you're going to concede at least quality looks, if not a goal. And to be able to say we handled that correctly, that's a good thing. But
they did concede quality looks. You can't say they did.
No, I'm talking in the last stretch of that game where you're down to 10.
Yeah, they did. They did have a few quality looks that Columbus just shot into the backs of Rapids players. They handled it. They played defense correctly. I'm not giving credit to the Rapids, but it's also those situations do happen. It happens all the time.
Cody, no update on Toure. Professional. No update on Toure, just non-contact.
Yeah. But they are it happens. I'm just saying, to me, there's not a lot of takeaways from this game because, again, it was a stalemate. You weren't able to show up to what you weren't able to go over to what it was. I'm just saying that maybe I'm being negative, or maybe I just didn't see the game the
You're
right
both
way.
being negative Nancy's,
No,
man.
'cause
Hard. I can't even say
No.
anything. I just get shut down over here.
Because like
Good Lord.
It was a stalemate of
God.
bad soccer.
Man.
Like
I thought it was
tough
boring.
room.
Honestly,
Jesus.
I honestly thought it was boring. Like I thought it was boring, and not in like because there's stalemates that are fun. These teams just look tired. They look like they were ready to get out of there a while ago.
Yeah, I agree. And
Like,
they had a
that's what
tough
it made
stretch.
it
I mean, this is
boring.
fine to Canada and back, and you got two games against teams you need points from. It's
and they shouldn't have blown this because of
I'll
that.
ask the chat. Let me know what takeaways you guys have. Maybe I'm just like looking at it and like, wow, I wish I could have seen more. But let me know, like,
well. There's
what
okay. I'll
takeaways
say
you
this:
guys have.
you can't play a game and have. There's never a game with no takeaways. There's not like. If the takeaway is they should have controlled it and they didn't, then you're talking about what was missing, right? Like who didn't have that killer instinct, who was missing, and like there's you can't have 100 minutes played and have there's always something to pull from a game.
Here's the same takeaway that we've said almost every game this season, is that we keep giving up an early goal, like a stupid goal. Like this was a stupid goal. It was just a dumb goal. I mean, it was kind of funny to watch. It was circus like and like goofy, but it's like it shouldn't have broke down the way it did, and I put that on Estevez for that. And he wasn't marking. I think it was Joseph said that also earlier, but like anyway, here's the thing. When you are always touting and you make your little marketing video to play before the match about you're at altitude and you're going to get sick and get a headache and all this, blah, welcome to 5280 and all of that, and you play that as your strategy of we're going to tire out the other team and make them chase us the whole game because we're more fit than they are at altitude, you can't blow that by giving up an early goal, because then they don't have to chase anymore and they can lay back until we have to, stop chasing. So I'm so irritated with these first half goals right off the bat. It is the absolute opposite of what we try to do with Colorado soccer at altitude. It is the opposite. And I don't know what the problem is, but it's not a one game thing. It wasn't somebody just missed their mark. This is almost every match we give up the first half like stupid goals. So I don't know who's accountable for that. Is it players? Is it Fraser? I don't know. But at some point there has to be some kind of accountability. I don't want to hear, oh, it's a disappointing result, man. I'm real disappointed with that. Well, how many times are you going to say that about the first half and then not change anything, not get better at it? So I'm irritated, and I wish that I had left the match like after like the first 15 minutes, because I was irritated the entire match. And I just ended up basically, Jess sits, she's my 123 homie. I just played with my daughter the whole time. Like we were hanging out and trying to make the best of it. Just to distract myself of one, how irritated I was, but two, also just watching bad soccer by both teams. And I don't agree with Columbus is a better team. Like we held our own versus a better team.
I don't think they were a better team.
That team was.
I don't think they were a better team
either. Like that team was not better.
I never said they were a better team. I think they're quality. I mean, they'll be a home playoff team. That's not. They have a shot at a home playoff game. That's not
what we gave up to. What we gave up 2 points tonight to was not quality.
Yeah, but again, if you're not putting out quality, right? Like, what's the balance there?
Exactly.
Yeah, like what's the balance there?
I totally agree.
So I do want to speak to some of this stuff. So so far,
that was my Yahya moment.
Yeah, absolutely. That was a fantastic rant. I mean, the more rants, the better, right? People love the rants. And Robin spoke to this after the game, but early. Right, like first 10 minutes. That's three straight.
By the way,
three straight.
Check it out.
3 straight conceding before the 10-minute mark. But before that, they were, earlier in July, they were on a streak of like 4 games conceding after the 43rd minute, right? And tonight they were on the attack going into the half and earned a penalty. And instead of going in 2-0 and being the usual trend where they give up a bad goal, they turned it around and scored a goal. And I think that's like, I do think that addresses a long-standing problem that they've had for over a month where they end halves terribly, and they were on the front foot and went in and were able to actually go in level, right? And you know,
I agree with you on that.
I think that is a definite positive among a lot of crap.
And not all of the crap was on the Rapids. You know, it's just like I was pissed at the refs. I was pissed at the game. Like there was a lot of, just for me, I give this game 0 out of 10. Do not recommend. I wouldn't watch it again if I was Yahya. But if I did want to watch it again,
yeah, man, how
would I do?
Yeah,
that?
how do you watch the game? You were there. I was there.
Oh, how? Yeah, I watch it.
Yahya watches it.
If
He's probably watching it as we speak, is my guess. He's watching it on Ivaca TV, the homies Ivaca TV. Look, you don't have Ivaca TV. I don't know what to tell you by this point. I tell you this every week. Ivaca is the GOAT in Colorado sports. That is the greatest of all TV. Ivaca delivers amped up sports coverage for Colorado fans featuring Altitude Sports. Get your PIDs on while you can on Altitude. Because soon it's going to be on Apple. So get it now while you can. That's also Avs, Nuggets, Mammoth, DU, AT&T Sportsnet gets you the Rockies for the rest of summer. NFL Network, bunch of preseason going on right now. You can get the most regional content for the lowest price for sports in Colorado, all in crystal clear HD while using less bandwidth, and enjoy over 60 entertainment channels, including news, movies, and more. Turn your home into the ultimate game viewing zone. You can even stream your teams from your phone, laptop, or tablet when you're on the go. You can also add on a discounted Sling TV bundle to get ESPN and more. Ivaca is only $25 a month plus a $5 receiver fee. Right now, Colorado sports fans get $10 off per month for your first 3 months. To score this deal, go to evaca.tv/Colorado10. That's EVOCA.tv/Colorado10. No contracts, no catches. Ivaca TV is made for champions. Let's go. Ivaca TV. The homies. We love it. Man. So, oh, hey, look, I just got a notification from our homie Matt Pollard. He always submits the pool question to the officials after the game, and you essentially email someone here. They email the MLS reffing office, and then they email him back, and he gets the answer.
They should have to answer him in person, by the way.
Cowardly. That seems
cowardly.
That's every league, though. No one does that. It's like one pool question to
and
them.
That's why they're so bad. It's because there's no accountability face to face.
I don't know.
Commissioner Duane Brown, let's go. Let's make this happen.
Dwayne's on him. Dwayne
Put my name on the wall.
I've never seen Dwayne so passionate about this before. All it takes is a boring performance, and he has his swords out, dude. Okay, look. So he said, okay, so this is from Matt Pollard, the homie, last word on sports, holding the high line. He submitted a poll reporter question about the red card given to someone on the Colorado Rapids bench in stoppage time. Here was the response, quote, "The equipment manager was sent off for foul and abusive language toward AR1." End quote. Legend. That is 2 weeks in a row that a non-coach has gotten sent off in a game. Epic, dude. Just epic. What? Come on, man.
He's my favorite equipment manager in the whole league.
So now so that's someone else they're down now because he can't travel with the team. They don't have an equipment manager. They got to call up somebody, dude.
Send me. I got plenty to say for the refs.
Oh man,
I'll carry that equipment. I'll get those jerseys set up and ready.
And Duane, I don't know if you shouted out, but it was Switchbacks Rapids United game.
Yeah,
afterwards.
I haven't covered that yet.
As I was walking out, Switchback scored a goal, and he did the full layout on the ground Superman slide to celebrate in front of his bench. It was tight.
Awesome. That's awesome.
I don't know who won. I haven't checked in on that, but it was cool to see. Yeah, it was rad. So shout out those guys.
He flashed it. Yeah, he just flashed it because he wanted to make sure that he could actually see the card, I'm guessing.
Joseph, what I think happened, and we were kind of kicking this around, is that he got word that it was bench red card, and he came over and thinking it was Frazier, and then when it wasn't Frazier, he thought it was Waldy, and then it wasn't Waldy. He sent it over to whoever it was. I just don't think he knew who to give it to based on. I think the word was just bench red card. Is my guess.
And yes, Jess, the refs do need to be held accountable, like completely. Like every player and every coach in every league.
Oh yeah, I
is
said
held
United.
accountable. Like everybody's held accountable except for the refs in every single league, which is total BS.
Yeah,
Facts.
you're right. You're right. Absolutely. And there's not even on camera. Like it's not they don't televise it. It's literally just a printed transcript in every league. So yeah.
Which is
I
the
mean-
easiest form. It's like an internet warrior. Like
Yeah.
you hide behind a keyboard and what happens, like you can just type out what you want and you're like, there you go, like this will happen.
I do think B-Ray has a pretty good point. It's not like the ref cost, it's not like there was like, I mean, the worst call was the Mikey Barrios on the end line.
Yes,
Yeah, that wasn't
sir.
a foul.
I don't know how he missed it. It wasn't that it was a
I
foul.
sit
It was
on
that it was on. It wasn't out. And then all of a sudden you have Zardes on the inside of his defender sprinting towards the goal and Mikey with no one within 10 yards because the Columbus defender is laying on the ground behind him with the ball in his
Didn't they call it a
garbage
foul
call.
though?
No. They just called it. They called it out. They called it a goal
I
kick.
thought it was no, it
Yeah.
was a foul. I'm pretty sure it was a foul.
Yeah, they
Like,
called it a foul.
It was a
yeah,
foul?
They called that a foul.
Oh, that's
yeah.
even worse on Mikey.
Yeah, and it wasn't a foul. Like
So they kicked it from. I thought it was a goal kick. I thought the goalie kicked it from his box afterwards.
No, it was inside of no.
I think we were all talking and tweeting about it. That's
Yeah,
lame.
Jess and
Yeah,
I
that
were
was a
right
foul.
there. Like,
That is so lame. That's even
what
worse.
you do. Yeah, exactly. Because I saw the replay 3 times on TV. No,
See,
foul.
I can turn. So like
Oh.
behind me, one of the interns is like behind us in a box that has altitude on. So like we have about 20 seconds or so where we can turn around and see what happened. And they kept showing the ball on the end line over and over. And so I was like,
I said,
so I just thought
can
that was
see,
the
I
call.
can see the blades of grass.
Yeah.
on the pitch. That's how.
Oh
close
my
I am
God.
there.
That's an even
And
worse
it
call. Now I'm
was
even
a
more mad. Okay, you got
garbage
dude. Let's go
call.
burn
Garbage call.
down MLS, whatever it's called, MLS Pro, whatever it is.
Yeah, I think the biggest issue with the refs today wasn't that they cost the game.
Oh my
3-0.
God.
It was that they literally
That they're
slowed the game
terrible.
down to the point that it
Yeah.
was
The refs-
like no team was able to get any rhythm because the refs.
Dude, it was both.
completely shit
Yeah,
on both
dude.
teams.
Dude.
It was a clown.
And then
show
like
performance.
Rubio just like,
Rubio was.
bro,
Okay,
he's gotta
I was-
chill, dude.
Did he, okay,
It's
so did either of you? Did
he's
either of you
gotta
catch?
relax.
Did either of you catch Rubio's interview after the game?
No, but someone
yeah.
mentioned it
Are you talking
when we
about
were
the one on the
waiting on
field,
Frazier.
like on
So
Instagram?
I can go right now real quick in like a quick summary.
Sure.
Dempsey asked him, "How does it feel to break your club record, to break your personal record?" I remember the question exactly, but Rubio said immediately, he's like, "This should have been a win. The refs were bad. We couldn't touch Columbus players because they fell to the ground immediately, and then when they
Facts.
hit us, they didn't count it." Rubio, and then he's like, "Zardes got punched in the face a couple of times, but because he didn't fall, it wasn't a foul." He's like, "I love that the MLS comes to Colorado and can find me for embellishing, but can't come to Colorado to give me an all-star selection."
Oh my God, what a legend, dude.
You know,
Rubio
like-
rules.
I was like,
That's my guy.
and again, this was like my own words, but that's
Sure.
basically the gist of it. And he was just like, "I love that the MLS can come to Colorado and just find me for not being for embellishing, but they can't come to Colorado and give me an MLS All-Star collection selection." I was like, he's got a point there. We can't really get mad at that.
Jess is right about fines. We tried to ask, and we all, I think 3 questions during the presser were prefaced with, "We're not trying to get you fined." So, question asked.
I wish I had won that $500 million lottery, so
It
I
was
could
$1 billion
just
lottery.
I could just give half after,
Because after taxes.
After
Oh
taxes.
yeah, that was so lame. They got like,
and I would
400
just
million.
give Rubio a debit card, just a fine debit card, and just say, "Dude, just let it rip, just
How much was
just
the fine?
go."
Like 18,000 or something like that.
I don't know. That's a lot.
Yeah, it was around there, I think.
Yeah.
So
I don't
you
know.
should give him a mill and go all out.
Look, this Vancouver game is going to be interesting. There's a lot on this game. I think a point is fine, but you can't go 0. You can't get 0.
It's got to
It's
be
in
3 to me.
Vancouver.
It's in Vancouver. You need one.
I'm a little scared.
It's got to be 3 to me because Galaxy won tonight.
True.
Again,
True. But one of Minnesota and
in the
Nashville is going to
table.
lose, right? Like, and
Yeah.
and Houston lost and Portland lost. So like, it did go relatively your direction.
Well, like
All
that's what I'm
things
saying. Like
considered.
it just the table feels the same. Like it
And
just
Galaxy did
feels
beat
that spot.
Vancouver, which helps.
Yeah,
That
exactly. So
Vancouver
it just
didn't
feels
get
like
points, you know.
it just feels like the table stayed the same.
It
Your
did.
goal
It
is
did
the
actually.
same.
Yeah.
Your goal's still the same, but just which teams are in which
It's
position.
just like
changed.
1 week later. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like.
I'm like, that's why, like, even that, like, I couldn't get really passionate about that either. Like, nothing irked me, but nothing excited me. You know what I
Sure.
mean?
Yeah.
So, like, that's
Yeah.
the whole point about this. When I say there's no takeaways, there's like no major storylines. Of course, you can find a takeaway in every game.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
it's part of the game. But there's no like everything stayed the same. Like we could literally do our pod from last week,
Yeah.
take the goal excitement, and put it
Yeah.
in this, and it's like okay, like everything's the same.
Okay.
Like,
I do have a question
Rapids.
then.
I hate that.
But the Rapids, it is.
I'll say this: we got an all-time Duane rant. That was the first official Duane rant, and we got it.
Exactly.
So like that's tight. We got something out of this, right?
Yeah, exactly. There's something there, but the team is still there. Like that's why I'm like, I'm not mad. I'm also not excited because it's like,
Yeah.
okay, like you live to fight another day, basically.
I
want to win.
Okay, so you're going into Vancouver.
With half
You know,
our
I'm not
squad
trying to say
down.
that Vancouver is a good team, but they are in a very similar position to the
They're not a
Rapids.
playoff. I don't think they're a playoff team.
I don't think
we're
so
better
either,
than
but they're in. But right now, neither are the Rapids, right? So you're
Correct.
basically going in and playing a team very similar to yourself. If I'm Frazier, well, I could say what I expect Frazier to do is I expect Beta, Prizo, and
Warner.
No, not Warner. Gutierrez. I expect Gutierrez. God, please not Warner. But Gutierrez Warner is actually what I think Frazier is going to do. You're right,
yes,
right,
because
right,
Warner
right.
is the
Frizo's
older. He
not gonna
wants the
start.
vet.
Yeah,
He
you're
wants
right.
the vet in there. I'm telling you, Warner is
Oh my
starting.
God, I
will
would
say
play
one thing.
Markinich, Prizo, Gutierrez. That's what I would do.
Sure.
I would actually do Beta Shore, dude. I love.
I mean, I love Beta. I'm a
plays,
Beta male for sure, dude.
But I will say one thing about Frazier. Like we always talk about Frazier. We always talk about Frazier being this guy that you gotta earn trust with him right away, right?
Yeah.
And he's kind of changed that mold a little bit. He
You
started
think?
Priso immediately, started Gutierrez.
Well, yeah,
immediately. He had options.
But also, Prizo hasn't seen a minute since Seattle,
like, it's
right?
also like he's willing to put in the people that he wants. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's willing to put in those
I think
people, in my opinion.
I think he's going in like, how high can I bring the floor up, right? Like,
yeah, exactly.
Like that's why I think Prizo just hasn't. Once it's been so close, right? Like so close to the playoffs, where before it seemed like a loss on the wrong week could push you so far out that it would almost not be worth it. But now that it's right there, I just expected the young guys like Max I don't think he even thought about playing Max tonight. Like you couldn't have the mistake that gave up because like with how slowly paced that second half was, one good push could have freaking ended the game either direction, right? And you didn't get it on either side. But like, I think he's going to raise that floor as high as he can in terms of Beta's probably going to play Warner, right? Like, how few mistakes can we make?
Yeah. And again, I think Jess is right. Max hasn't played well, but he's improved.
He's definitely way better than he was. Yeah.
He's not at the level that we need him at, but he's at a higher level than when he got here.
Drastically. Drastically.
So it's small improvements like that. And it's so sad about Yahya Toure because Yahya was on a roll.
Do you want to cook for a sec on your guy? Do you want us to clear out and you can just let it go for your guy?
This is the most disappointing thing about Yahya, man. He's been on a roll. This is the guy that was, in my opinion, starting to break out. He's the guy that we all figured he's the guy. I said Mitch this about 2 weeks ago. I'm excited for what the Rapids can cook on the wings. They have Yahya that they can bring in slowly. They got Nicholson, they got Barrios, and they got Lewis. They have the options. They have the ways to get going into what's needed on the wings. They're getting that depth from the young guys. And Yahya has been on a tear as of late. getting his first goal against New York. He was playing great for Rapids too. And then seeing him run on a nothing play, I love the effort. I love the kid. I love him going all out, running, trying to lunge at a ball that he had no shot at, and then stopping at the same time hurt my soul, hurt my knee, and hurt my Achilles all at the same time because he had no shot at that and he still tried to get it, which I love it. I love that he was going for it, but there's no need. That's what a young, reckless player does. Sometimes it's not the game, sometimes they just don't take care of themselves like they should. And it was unnecessary, but it was also very unlucky because that only happens 1 out of 10 times. But when it does happen that one time, that's when you're screwed. And it was heartbreaking to see him power through the field and walk off. And then as soon as he gets to the touchline, he collapses. He can't walk. He's
He
crying.
got carted back. Yeah.
Yeah. They literally like
Yeah.
so he from the touchline to the bench. They had to pick him up like a newlywed bride and take him to the bench because he couldn't do anything else. Like that's heartbreaking.
Yo, that was
Weddings
poetry,
are supposed
dude.
to be happy. That's not happy.
Well
Like that
said.
was like it was so bad. This is my guy. This is the guy that I think is the future for the Rapids. I think this is the guy that's going to be in the same talks as a Cade, as a Brendan Harrison in the future. I think this guy has so much potential. I think he can be like a Brendan Vazquez where everybody's talking about him all of a sudden. So it just sucks when you see that happen to a young player that has so much potential on a play that shouldn't have happened to begin with.
Yeah.
And you can't even blame another player to
No.
to feel better about yourself or even feel better about him. It was just an accident that happened that he could have avoided, honestly. But because he wants to show that he deserves to be on the first team, he got injured. So it's not even his fault. It's just a freak accident that happens 1 out of 10 times, and it just hurts my soul. It hurts everybody that loves Yaya and loves the Rapids. Honestly.
I'll say, okay. So we were talking about this after the presser real quick. We're kind of getting injury updates. It was non-contact, obviously not good, right? Generally non-contact, hoping to avoid tears, right? MCL, ACL.
You're hoping for sprains at
The
that
biggest
point.
thing that I would take out of this is he was in extreme pain. And generally speaking, a torn ACL is not something that is just an excruciatingly painful injury.
Correct.
Now, you know that something happened to your knee, you feel a pop, whatever, but it's not something where you are like unable to talk because you are just in so much pain in your knee. That could mean a number of things, right? It could mean something with his kneecap, patella tendon, MCL. There's a lot. So, I'm not trying to say this is a good injury, right? Like he's definitely going to be out for a while. Frazier literally called it not good, but there's layers to not good. Is it ACL where you're out for a year? He maybe even isn't back next season at all with an ACL, the middle of August, right? Like, it's like a long time. So, I'm not exactly sure what we're saying, but hoping more sprained MCL, right? Sprained patella tendon, as opposed to a torn ACL. Like that's obviously the worst case. Hopefully, based on what it looked like, it's on the better end of a bad injury versus not. I don't know. It's a bummer. It's a huge bummer.
It just sucks.
He scored 6 goals in 7 games if you include Rapids too, or something like that. Like he was on fire, man.
Yeah, he was breaking out. Honestly, in my opinion, he was finally getting those. He was starting to earn that trust from Frazier, and Frazier was giving him the minutes at the end of each game. When he wanted energy, he put him in there, man. It just sucks because I thought we were finally seeing the Yaya that I've been hyping up for the last year. So that
honestly, and it's like Rapids 2 was kind of having a tough stretch there. So to see him come out of that was great. And yeah, it's just man, pour one out, dude. Pour one out for Yaya.
Yeah, it just
yeah, rough, dude. Well, man, that sucks.
What a game, everyone!
What
a beautiful
next week
game.
Again, like Zach, you're right. Like he was just looking to inject energy, and he did everything right. And I said maybe a veteran player doesn't do that, but he's a young kid that is looking to prove that he deserves to be on the pitch, and I love that about him. I love that he was going out there, It just sucks that the outcome was maybe torn ACL.
I'll say this: Nicholson was talking about how he feels like he's in the best shape since he was sick and missed time and like like lost weight and like couldn't work out and like so he's back up and if he can kind of fill in that Yahya juice that we had the last few games that where he just wasn't even available, so hopefully that you can use that going into the playoffs. Gutierrez can kind of fill in that creative midfield role.
I think the sadness comes more about the player, not the
no, absolutely. Sure. Absolutely, and
You're right. Like you're completely.
I'm just trying to find the silver lining for the rest of this season because it sucks to not have him. It really sucks. And look, he's young, right? He's 17, 18 at the most. I don't know if he turned 18 yet, but like,
I think he's 17.
It definitely sucks for him to go down. We're hoping for the best. Hopefully, it's a couple months as opposed to a year plus.
18. Sorry, he just turned 18.
Just turned 18. That's what I thought.
About a year ago. 2 months ago.
So we'll see, man. Maybe Yappy gets some minutes or something. So he frees up something there. That's also Yaya's guy. It starts with YA. Yaya's in on it for sure.
Mayaka. I used to be really in on Mayaka.
Oh yeah, there's a YA in Mayaka too. There you go. Look, guys, we got to. Go ahead.
Before we anything else, I just want to say what an incredible season Rubio's having,
dude.
And how many games are left? 9 games. Does he get 5 goals in 9 games? 9 games left, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does he get 5 goals in 9 games and break the season record for the Rapids?
Oh, easily. Yeah.
So?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I feel pretty good about that.
Yeah, I don't even think that's. I'm like.
I came into today thinking he was getting a Hattie. If I'm honest. I thought he was jealous of Rubio. I thought he was jealous
of Zardes. Yeah, I mean, I think 20 is not crazy. I mean, it's kind of crazy, but it's not crazy. 8 games and 9 goals, or 8 goals in 9 games. Wow, I can't talk.
8 games, right?
He needs 8
games. No, but
we're gonna need it.
Games with
9 games. Yeah. Look, I mean, it's
that's a lie, Jess. They will give him a fine.
We will force him.
They will give him a fine. They will recognize him.
We're gonna hack.
Yeah, they recognize him with a fine.
I'm gonna hack MLS Twitter, and it's gonna be Diego Rubio Day until they get their account back. How about that?
Rubio's gonna be that. Gonna be Diego Rubio MLS player of the week every week. If you want your Twitter account back.
See, that's a good point, Zach. He's also diming him out. So he's 8 straight games on the score sheet, dude. It's like he is as dialed in as he has ever been, ever. This is his best. Ha, Joseph beat you to it. Bang. Bang.
I literally just said that.
Bang.
You answered my question.
Yeah, dude, he's legit.
Yeah. And again, he already tied his assist record, I think, from last year at 6.
Yeah. He's, dude, unreal.
Games too, so.
Unreal.
Dude has been on a roll. I just wanted to give Rubio his flowers, no matter how bad the game was, no matter his shenanigans. I just wanted to give him. He deserves his flowers. Yeah. I think we have to give him like roses or something like maroon.
These are the only flowers I have. I have some Lego flowers back here.
Let's give him Lego flowers. I'm sure he'll love that. Yeah. He would absolutely love Lego flowers if he doesn't throw them in our face.
They're cool. We also got the succulents under there too. The Lego succulents. They're tight. Guys,
all right. So short week. We got
a 3-show week, dude. I'm hyped. We get to talk kids 3 times together, guys. This is as good as it gets.
Also, rewatching the game right now, I want to give credit to the fans.
Yes, I knew it. I knew it, dude. Yeah, you're sick. You are sick. You're sick. You just spent 50 minutes saying how mad this game was, and you're already looking up at it again.
That's what he does. He doesn't watch the good ones over. He just watches the crummy ones.
Yeah, it's part of my lifestyle, man. I just
what are you gonna say, Yaya?
I just want to give credit to the fans. We all know it's Broncos Saturday preseason game. The temptation to stay home, the temptation to go to that instead.
Over 13,000 in attendance.
Yeah, like you could tell from the stadium that there was like fans in there. It's very easy to start just packing it in because the Broncos are playing again. So I want to give credit to all the Pitts fans, man. You guys are awesome.
Absolutely, and for showing up at 11:35 at night in the comment section.
Exactly, and also like. We welcome casuals. We welcome fair weather fans. That's how you grow a game. That's how you grow a fan base. We want everybody to be on this team, not just us. And another
Come on
thing,
in.
if you
Water's
keep begging
warm.
for, if you really want an NWSL team, like we all do, I'm pretty sure
Yes.
everybody in this pod really wants one.
Really?
Support the
Yes.
Rapids. That's the win where you'll get an NWSL team. Show that the soccer is big in Colorado and that we want soccer here, and you will get the NWSL team. And we might get Mallory Pugh. You never know. Lindsey Horan. Like these are players that are from Colorado that might want to come back, that might want to play. You know what? They might want to come see.
Oh, Joseph just brought up. Did you guys talk about Cole Bassett at all?
We did not.
You mean Gold Bassett? No.
Goal Bassett. My bad. Goal Bassett. Like so, basically, it was a weird transaction. They had to withdraw
Recall
the
him.
loan back, recall him, and then send him out same day. But that's funny. Yeah, now he's at a team where he's definitely going to play a ton of minutes, but it is a tiny little stadium, tiny little club. But it'll develop, and that's what we want to see.
No, Gold Bassett, Jeff.
Yes.
No
Dude, I'm with,
slander on.
I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but just did.
Yo, could be.
We're talking about
I don't know.
2019. We're talking about 2020 with Cole Bassett. We ain't talking
That's
about
awesome.
no 2021 Cole Bassett.
Look, I'll say this. I'm hyped. This is a week. These games matter, man. Every game matters on the way out. This is fun, right? Like, you could be SKC. We could have an SKC show and where it's just like, cool, whatever, doesn't matter. We're, like, we're going to finish dead last, cool, whatever. Or you could be like LAFC where it's like, cool, doesn't matter what happened today either because no one's going to catch us. Next.
I will want to be an LAFC issue.
Well, obviously that's a good thing, but it is
I'm
nice to
actually
have
okay with that as
stakes.
well.
It's nice to have stakes every game.
It is nice.
It makes
I
it
have
dramatic,
something like
right?
that.
It makes it. That's how you get Duane rants. That's how you get Yahya rants. Is like when there's actual big time stakes every game, and when you get a 1-1 draw against a Columbus and Duane is furious on the internet, that's a good thing, man. It's great. I'm excited.
You don't talk about Trusty.
Yeah, boo. But also tight.
It's not tight. Why didn't he do that for the Rapids?
Yeah, that's a good point.
Because he wanted to be somewhere else. So let him go. Yeah.
Zach, I don't think Feyenoord has the bye because they withdrew
They
they do? How does that work?
So they basically just have the buying rights if they want him. They get to like, so if he gets the minutes and because they still believe in him, if he gets the minutes that.
Oh, you're right. That is strange.
Yeah.
That is a strange agreement.
That's why it's weird. So it's basically a loan on a loan.
Yeah. Bizarre. I hope they don't exercise it. Bring back Bassett.
No,
We're on Team
exercise
Bassett.
it. I want Bassett out there, man. Show him what you're made at. I want Bassett to succeed in Europe.
Yeah. What
I'll
a strange
take him here.
transaction.
Screw Europe. I want him here.
What a strange transaction. I think, man.
I get that.
But also, it's strange that someone on loan is also on loan. So whatever, cool. Keep his purchasing rights. That's bizarre. But also, like we were talking about all sorts of weird, like MLS style things like that, where it's like you can loan a player out and like if you loan a player, you can have like terms of the loan where they can't play the team they're loaned to, or even in a sale, you can put that in the terms that they can't play.
The next 2 seasons.
Like Columbus could have put in the terms of the Zardes trade that he couldn't play against them. Now they didn't, but like that's a legal thing. That's insane. That's so dumb. That's crazy. Why would you allow that?
USA.
Let's go.
It's very much like a creative contract.
Dumb league rules. Dumb
I
league.
love them. I love it. It gives us more things to talk about. I love
That's
that.
true.
So much.
You get stupid stuff like that.
I love
tight.
stupid shit.
Yeah, I love stupid. What a quote.
I didn't know it was in La Liga, Jeff, but that's awesome, dude. I just love stupid contract shit, dude. It's so funny.
It's
like
dumb.
that whole thing with who was it? I don't remember who. Kyler, that he had to study in order to make money, and then
Yeah,
Lyle
didn't last
Williams
very
and
long.
also like these are just awesome. Like or like even the Tim Howard contract where it was like, yeah, but Transamerica's gonna be your sponsor, and I'm like, oh, that's dope. Like I don't care. Like let's do this.
Joseph,
shit.
we were talking. A bunch of us were talking, and we all came to the conclusion that you can do it in trade or in all transactions. Is that not the case? It's only loans or selling them. Whatever. Who cares? MLS has so many dumb rules.
Agreed.
Kai Kamara couldn't play against his team. That was one of the Kai Kamara deals. He had that stipulation.
And If
Weird.
that was the case, how come Mark couldn't play for half the teams?
I know.
You can't play against any of the teams you were a part of. You wouldn't be able to play for against anybody at some point.
He just sits out half the games. That's awesome. That's awesome. Feisty crowd tonight. I love it. Look, that's why you guys are here. Love when people can answer questions immediately in the comments. Shout out. Duane, my guy. Plug away.
Oh man, I'm just plugging the next game. I'm ready to get 3 points. That's what I want. But in the meantime, while you're waiting for us to make the magic happen with a depleted squad, go to dmvrlocker.com. Pick yourself up one of these snazzy little scarves.
Beautiful scarf.
Maybe a t-shirt.
Look at that.
Mitch will send it right to your doorstep.
It's true.
It's beautiful. Every piece of merch comes with a little bit of love from Mitch, which I think is a beautiful thing. That's why they call it the beautiful game, is because of the merch.
I'll give that scarf just a sweet little mwah, and put it in the bag and send it to you, baby. From me to you. Yeah. What do you got?
Also tailgate, but you can plug that, Mitch.
No, you're up.
So I just want to plug the pod again. We really give us a like on YouTube. Subscribe to the DNVR page. It really helps us out. Also, give us a 5-star review on the Apple, Stitcher, whatever you hear us on. 5-star reviews really helps us. It helps us create a community. Helps us know that it helps us put our pod to a place where other Rapids fans can hear us and we can create more content. Interact on us on Twitter, all our Twitters, but especially DNVR_Rapids. That helps us out a lot. I also just want to plug all of you guys for staying up so late with us and shout you guys out more than anything. You guys have been dope. So those are all my plugs for today. Same as always.
Those are good plugs, dude. You plugged the hell out of those plugs. I'm proud, both of you.
I'm a big plug guy.
You guys plugged it so hard. Look, they all said it all. Subscribe, like, get your DNVR membership. Comes with $30 in merch immediately. That's the price of the scarf. There you go. When bar opens up in a few weeks, you can come get member beers for cheap. Member beers rule. Member beers are the truth. Yahya knows what I'm talking about. Duane knows what I'm talking about. Big old member beers, dude. Way to go.
The size of my head.
The size of Yahya. Beers the size of Yahya's head. That's what it says on the sign.
So you just have to go and be like, give me one Yahya. Yahya size to beer real quick.
They actually measure it right up against Yahya's head. They have a bunch of glasses. They hold it up to his head, and that's the one you get.
Yep. It's true.
I didn't make that up at all.
Duane just literally said the truth. So there you go. More important than all of that, the most important thing. And until Wednesday, you know what it is, baby. Up the bids.
Up the bids.